What's up guys, welcome back to the Spoiled Brat Films YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Nick Hernandez. I am the owner of Spoiled Brat Films, and if you like what you see today, please consider subscribing. We're going to do more videos like this in the future. Now the video you're about to watch was actually part of a larger video that I filmed last month. In that video, I spoke about all of the horror content that I consumed during the month of October. I originally planned to put it out for Halloween, but obviously that never happened. Due to technical difficulties, I couldn't finish editing the video in time for Halloween, so I decided instead to take that long video and split it into smaller videos. I didn't reshoot any of that footage, so it's exactly the same as it was in that longer video. And over the next few weeks, I'm gonna release each individual video until you get the entire thing. Because these reviews were originally for a longer video, they're kind of shorter than my usual reviews, so these are just kind of my brief thoughts. So without further ado, let's get to it. Next up, I want to talk about Lights Out, directed by David F. Sandberg. There are plenty of horror films that deal with mental health. I mean, Mike Flanagan's entire filmography seems to be dealing with mental health, but this film just gets so much right in my opinion. This film really shows how mental illnesses can affect not only the person that's afflicted with it, but also their loved ones. In the film, we get to see all the different ways that Teresa Palmer and Gabriel Bateman's characters are affected by their mother's mental illness. This mental illness is personified by the demon Diana, who is creepy as hell. You can see her in the back. Oh, that right there, Diana. For those of you who don't know, Lights Out started out as a short film that David F. Sandberg made before he was really known at all. It's a really simple but creative premise, and it works so well in both the short film and the feature. So well, in fact, that the short film ended up going viral and giving David F. Sandberg this opportunity to make the feature version of it. And I find that so inspiring as someone who's a filmmaker themselves and does a ton of low-budget horror films and just short films in general. The fact that something as simple as the Lights Out short film could go viral and give this person such a huge opportunity to succeed in their career is so inspiring. Sandberg ended up going on to directing Annabelle Creation and Shazam, and is doing the Shazam sequel, so his career really skyrocketed from a short film that he did with his wife. Now let's talk about the ending to Lights Out. Now obviously this is a spoiler, so if you haven't seen it, just skip ahead a little bit. In my opinion, the ending is really sad because of how real it is, which is ironic considering this is a horror film. Unfortunately, a lot of people who deal with mental illnesses feel like suicide is the only answer. And in this film, the mother also thinks the only answer to getting rid of Diana is by killing herself, since Diana is attached to her. Now, some people might think that that's not sending a good message, but honestly, I think this is a bold choice by David F. Sandberg, and I applaud him for it because of how, like I said, how realistic it is. It's just such a true and real depiction of how some people deal with their mental illnesses in the real world. And it's sad, and I wish it didn't happen, but sometimes it does. And the fact that he chose to use that as the ending of the movie, just think is really powerful. I absolutely love Lights Out, and if I had to rate it, I would give it 4 out of 5 stars. I think it's super creepy. I think it deals with the mental illness aspect of it really, really well, and really creatively and really smartly. And I look forward to seeing what David F. Sandberg has next. Up next is a more recent cult classic, and that is The House of the Devil, starring Jocelyn Donahue, Greta Gerwig, and Dee Wallace in a small cameo. Now, The House of the Devil, like The Howling, is a film that a lot of people love that, to be honest, I didn't love, but I did like. Jocelyn Donahue and Greta Gerwig are both fantastic in this film, but Dee Wallace is kind of a wasted cameo. She's in one scene towards the beginning and then never shows up again. Considering her status as a scream queen in horror, I expected her to have a bigger role in this film, but she didn't. I thought she would end up coming back towards the end and reveal that she was a part of everything going on, but unless I missed something, I don't think she did. And so she ended up kind of being a wasted cameo. Honestly, she was kind of interchangeable. Anybody could have filled that role and did the same thing. I love Dee Wallace, but they didn't use her effectively in my opinion. I love the way that this film is shot. It gives like a really retro vibe that I really, really dug. The atmosphere is incredible and it's super creepy, especially inside the house. There's a lot of tension and a lot of suspense that is built up to lead to the big final third act. Now, all that build up could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on your taste. The film is kind of a slow burn, and I felt like the ending, in my opinion, was a little rushed. But to me, the film was engaging enough that I didn't feel the pace too bad. I felt it a little bit, but it wasn't too bad, and I think the atmosphere and the creepiness really held me down until the big final act. Now, there's not a lot of kills, but there's one kill that happens that comes out of nowhere and shocked the hell out of me. I did not expect it. Super gory and out of nowhere, and I loved it. It was probably my favorite part of the entire film because I really did not see it coming, and it was glorious. There's not really much else for me to say about this movie. I didn't love it as much as other people seem to love it, but I did like it, and I think with some rewatches, it'll grow on me. I give House of the Devil 3.5 stars. The next film I'm going to talk about is an old school Italian horror movie named Demons, produced by the master Dario Argento. I've seen Demons and its sequel Demons 2 a ton of times since I was a kid, and I've always thought the demons in these films were terrifying. These are some of the best looking demons I've seen in any horror film. I love the practical effects in this movie. They are top notch. Now the film is a little cheesier than I remembered it being as a kid, but it's still a fun time. Even though it kind of has a B-movie quality, it's actually shot gorgeously. It's honestly up there with some of the better Italian horror movies of that era like Suspiria and Dario Argento's other films. Now this film, like I said, is an Italian film. So it wasn't shot in English, it was actually shot in Italian. So they have a dub on the version that's available here in America, and the dub is like really funny, unintentionally funny. I don't know if it comes off that way in Italian, but in English, the dialogue is so cheesy and funny. But honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. It really goes with the B-movie vibe of this film. So I'd give Demons a solid 3.5 stars. And that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed hearing my thoughts. If you liked the video, please like and comment on it. Like I said in the intro, we're gonna have more videos like this in the future, so please subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to follow me and Spoiled Brat Films across all social media. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at @TheNickAnthony. You can find Spoiled Brat Films on Instagram at Spoiled Brat Films and on Twitter at SpoiledBTweets. And if you want even more reviews from me, follow me on Letterboxd. I review movies on there all the time. They're brief reviews, and I review movies on there constantly. Thank you guys, and until next time, I'm Nick Hernandez, and I'll see you later.